How to crochet a puffy quilt bag. Grab your stuff, let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to make a quick note that this is an intermediate level pattern and it is much easier to navigate if you have the PDF. It is a lot of repeats and intricate parts, so be sure to check that out in the description below. Today we'll be using a medium weight yarn called Lazy Days by Lion Brand, and you'll need some polyfill or some kind of stuffing, a large sewing needle, scissors, stitch markers, and a 4mm crochet hook. To construct the front and the back panels, you'll start with a chain 54, and we'll single crochet 2 times in the second chain from your hook. Then you'll single crochet 51. You should have 1 chain remaining. You should have 1 chain left after your 51 single crochets, and we're going to single crochet 4 in the very last chain. If you have a small hole, you can pull the tail to close that up, and then I like to crochet over the tail so I don't have to weave in the ends later. Now we're going to single crochet 51 up the opposite side of the chain, and you should have 1 stitch left when you reach the end. After your 51 single crochets, you will find the space where you put your first 2 single crochets and put 2 more. So there should be 4 on each end. Slip stitch to the first single crochet to join. For round 2, we'll start with a chain 1. And now we're going to start on a repeat. You'll start with 7 single crochets, and you'll see the instructions above, they have brackets. The brackets means that everything within those brackets are going to be repeated by the number that comes after the brackets. So in this case, it's 6 times. So once I have my 7 single crochets, I'm going to single crochet the next stitch together with the one across from it. So I'll place my hook under the next stitch and find the one directly across from it and single crochet 1. And if you want to double check your work, you can count the stitches on the other side to be sure there are 7 on the other side as well, so 14 total in each section. Now we're going to repeat that pattern 5 more times. So single crochet 7, and then single crochet the next stitch with the one directly across from it. Continue the pattern until you have 6 of these little pockets, and I'll meet you there. So now that you have your 6 pockets, you should have 1 little remaining pocket here to complete. To do that, we're going to single crochet 14. Now that we're working up the other side, we're going to place a slip stitch in the same space as the single crochet together from the other side. If you have a hard time seeing these, you can use stitch markers in these spots. Now we'll start another repeat. So for this one, you'll single crochet 7. And then we're going to slip stitch in that single crochet together space like we just did before. We'll repeat that 4 more times for 5 times total, and I will meet you there. After you've repeated that pattern 5 times and you have your 6 little pockets, to complete the last one, you're just going to single crochet 7. So we're just finishing up that last little pocket here. Lastly, we'll join by doing our slip stitch to the first single crochet. You should have 104 single crochet stitches total and 6 slip stitches in between those. So before we start round 3, we're going to place a stitch marker on the front of our work so we know which side is the right side when we're done. For round 3, we'll start with a chain 1 as normal. For this repeat, we'll do single crochet 7 and then single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from the previous round and repeat that 6 times. Now this is just a slightly different variation from the last round. We're just going to find that slip stitch that we placed instead of doing a single crochet together. So to find it, you can look at it from the top angle here and you will see that slip stitch. It lays flat on the other side. So you just need to find that, place your hook under it, and do a single crochet 1. Repeat 5 more times and I will meet you there. Now we'll do our single crochet 14 so that we can work up the other side. In the next stitch, we'll slip stitch 1. And now our repeat is single crochet 7, slip stitch 1, repeat that 5 times. Repeat 4 more times and I will meet you there. Single crochet 7 to finish up the round. Join the round and you should have 104 single crochet and 6 slip stitches in between. For rounds 4 through 6, we're going to repeat round 3, so you should have 6 rounds total. So go ahead and work on rounds 4 through 6 and I'll meet you there. You should have 6 rows at this point before we start round 7. And next we're going to stuff our first little pocket with Poly-fil or whatever your preferred stuffing is. Next we'll chain 1. Then we'll single crochet 7 together, which means that we will close the top of our little pocket. So place your hook through both the front and back stitches and single crochet them together like this. Then we'll place a single crochet in the slip stitch from the previous round. Your completed pocket should look something like this. And we'll repeat that process 5 more times. So go ahead and work on that and I'll meet you there. To finish up our last little pocket here, we'll stuff it with Poly-fil. And single crochet 7 the last stitches together. Your project should be looking something like this. Chain 1 and turn. For round 8, we'll be working in the front loops only because we're starting our next round of pockets. For this repeat, we will do single crochet 7 in the front loop only. And in the next stitch, we'll do a regular single crochet under both loops. And we'll repeat that pattern 6 times total. So go ahead and work on that and I'll meet you there. Next, we'll single crochet 7 in the front loop only, and that will complete this side of the round. Now we'll work up the opposite side with a single crochet 7 front loop only, slip stitch 1, and repeat that 6 times. It can be a little tricky to get your hook under the front loops on the other side, so just take your time. We'll finish up our last little section here with a single crochet 7 in the front loop only. Finish up the round by joining. You should have 104 single crochet and 6 slip stitch in between. For rounds 9 through 13, we'll repeat round 3, and for round 14, we'll repeat round 7. We're working up to having 7 pockets horizontally and 7 pockets vertically. So we're going to repeat all of the rounds that we've done so far 5 more times. You should have 49 rounds total. For the border, we'll turn our work on its side, and working into the end of each row, we'll single crochet 49 and eventually make our way around all of the edges here. Go ahead and work on your single crochet 49, and I'll meet you at the next corner. Once that side's complete, we'll turn our work again, and we'll single crochet 50 into the foundation row of our project. I'll meet you at the next corner. Turn your work one more time, and we'll work up this side with single crochet 49. We'll close with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of row 49, and all you need to do is tie off and weave your ends in. And we're going to repeat all of that to create the back panel, so you should have 2 of these all together. For part 2, we'll work on the side panels and handle. To begin, we'll chain 6, single crochet 2 in the second chain from hook, single crochet 3, and in the last chain we'll single crochet 4. Working up the other side of our chain, we'll single crochet 3, and working in the same space as our first 2 single crochet, we'll place 2 more single crochets, so there are 4 on each end. Slip stitch to join. You should have 14 single crochet total. For round 2, we'll chain 1, and then single crochet in each stitch all the way around for a total of 14 single crochet. Join to finish up the round, and then repeat 3 more times for rounds 3 through 6. Start round 7 with a chain 1, and we're going to stuff with polyfill and single crochet 7 together to close up our little pocket. Chain 1 and turn. For round 8, we'll be working into the front loops only again. We'll do single crochet 14 in the front loop only all the way around. And join with a slip stitch. For rounds 9 through 13, we're going to repeat round 2, which was single crochet 14. To close up this little pocket, we'll repeat round 7, so we'll chain 1, fill with polyfill, and then single crochet 7 together. We're going to repeat that whole process one more time so that we have a total of 3 of these single pockets. For this next part, we're going to be increasing, so we'll have 2 pockets instead of just 1. To do that, we will front loop only increase in the next 3 stitches. So that means we will do 2 single crochets in the front loop only of the next 3 stitches. In the next stitch, we're going to put 3 single crochets instead of just 2. We're going to continue with our increases in the next 6 stitches. So we'll work the first 3 on this side. And then we'll flip over to work the next 3 on the other side. In the next stitch, we'll put 3 single crochet. And then we'll do our increases in the last 3 spaces. Join to close the round. We should have 30 front loop only single crochets, and it should look something like this. To start round 23, chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet 7. Next, we'll single crochet together 1, so we'll place our hook under the next stitch and the stitch directly across from it. You can double check yourself by counting to make sure there are 14 stitches in each section. Next, we'll single crochet 14. And slip stitch 1 in the same space as the single crochet together from the other side. And single crochet 7. Join the round. You should have a total of 29 single crochet and 1 slip stitch. Round 24, we'll start with a chain 1, and then we will single crochet 7, and then single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from the previous round. Now we're going to single crochet 14 and slip stitch 1. Then single crochet 7. Join to finish up the round. For rounds 25 through 27, we're going to repeat round 24. So you'll do 7 single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from previous round, single crochet 14, slip stitch, and single crochet 7 to finish up. Go ahead and do those rows, and I will meet you there. For round 28, we'll start with a chain 1, and we'll stuff our pockets with Poly-fil before we close them up. Single crochet 7 together to close up the first pocket. Single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from the previous round. Single crochet together 7 for the second pocket. Chain 1 and turn for a total of 15 single crochet. For round 29, we will be working in the front loops only again. So we'll front loop only single crochet 7, and then single crochet 1 in the next stitch under both loops. Front loop only single crochet in the next 14 stitches, and then slip stitch 1 in the same space as your single crochet from the other side. And front loop only single crochet 7 to finish up. Join to finish the round. For round 30, start with chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet 7, single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from the previous round, single crochet 14 and slip stitch 1. We'll finish this round as normal with a single crochet 7 and then join. And then we're going to repeat round 30 for rounds 31 through 34. You should have 6 rounds total for this section. For round 35, we're going to repeat round 28, so stuff with polyfill, single crochet 7 together, single crochet 1, single crochet 7 together, chain 1 and turn. We're going to repeat rounds 28 through 34 2 more times, so you have a total of 4 rows of 2 pockets. For round 50, we're going to be increasing from 2 pockets to 3 and working in the front loops only again. So we'll front loop only single crochet in the first stitch and front loop only increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochets in the same space. And you're going to repeat that 7 times. You should have 1 stitch remaining. Now that we have 1 stitch left here, we're going to do an increase in the last one as well. And then we're going to work up the other side, doing the same thing. So front loop only single crochet 1, front loop only increase, and repeat 7 times till there's 1 stitch left. And in that last stitch, we will increase. Join to finish up the round. You should have 46 front loop only single crochet total. Start round 51 with a chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet 7, single crochet together in the next stitch, and then repeat that again for a total of 2 times. Then we'll single crochet 14. On the other side, we're going to slip stitch in the same space as the single crochet together, and then single crochet 7, and then repeat that again. Join, you should have 44 single crochet and 2 slip stitches. Round 52, we'll start with chain 1, and then we'll single crochet 7, single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from previous round, and repeat that 2 times. Single crochet 14, and then slip stitch 1, single crochet 7, repeat 2 times on the other side. And when you join, you should have 44 single crochet and 2 slip stitch. For rounds 53 through 55, we're going to repeat round 52. So go ahead and work on those and I'll meet you there. For round 56, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to close up our little pockets here. So we'll stuff them first. And we'll single crochet 7 together, single crochet 1 in the slip stitch from the previous round, and we'll do that 2 times. Single crochet 7 together to close up that last pocket, and chain 1 and turn. For round 57, we'll be working in the front loops only. You'll front loop single crochet 7 times and then single crochet 1 and repeat that 2 times. And then we're going to do front loop only single crochet in the next 14 stitches. For the other side, we'll slip stitch 1, single crochet 7, and repeat 2 times. Join to finish up the round. From this point on, we're going to be doing a lot of repeating. The goal is to get to 8 rows of 3 pockets. You can pause the screen or you can follow along with the PDF pattern. Now that we have our 8 rows of 3 pockets, we're going to do the border for our side and handle. You'll turn your work on its side, and then we're going to single crochet into the end of each row for a total of 105 stitches. Go ahead and work on that and I'll meet you there. And at some point while we're working on the border, you'll want to place a stitch marker to indicate that this is the right side. Once you have your 105 stitches, we're going to turn our work on its side again, and we will do 7 single crochet into the foundation row of this first pocket. Turn your work on its side one more time and work 105 single crochet up the opposite side. Then slip stitch into the first single crochet of row 104. You should have 217 stitches total. Tie off and weave in your ends. Then you'll repeat all of these instructions so that you have 2 sides that create 1 handle at the top. For the bottom panel, you're going to follow part 1 until you have 3 rows of 7 pockets. Once you have those, we can work on the border. You'll turn your work on its side and we'll work 21 single crochet into each row end. Turn your work again, and now we'll be doing 55 single crochet into the foundation row. Turn your work one more time and work 21 single crochet into each row end. Then slip stitch into first single crochet of round 21. You should have 97 stitches total. Tie off and weave in your ends. Now that we have all our pieces, we can start assembly, but before we do that, I recommend that you block each of your pieces with some starch spray or water and let them dry, and then we can start to put them together and they're a little less twisted. First, we're going to seam the side panels and the bottom panel with right sides together, and you'll whip stitch one side panel to the bottom panel and then repeat on the other side. So to do that, I'm going to lay them on top of each other like this, and then I'll grab my large sewing needle and whip stitch these together just like this. Now that that's secure, I can go ahead and weave in my ends before moving on to the other side. And repeat that process on the opposite side. Okay, with right sides together, we're gonna whip stitch the body panel to the bottom panel. So we're gonna grab those and put those together and whip stitch them across. Then we'll repeat for the opposite panel. Your bag should be looking something like this, and now we're going to stitch each side panel to the front and back panel. So there should be 4 sides here, 4 corners that you need to stitch together. Lastly, we need to seam our handle at the top. So we're going to grab those 2 little pieces there, and we will whip stitch them together and then weave in the ends for that as well. Now that we're done sewing, we're going to turn our bag right side out. You can be done here, or you can add in a zipper. I used a 14-inch all-purpose zipper, and you can either sew your zipper in with a needle and thread, or you can crochet your zipper in, and I have a tutorial for that above. I hope you enjoyed this project, and until next time, happy crocheting!